Monika, we are officially a week out from the month of March, which is wild to think about. And, this past week of CAA women's basketball definitely had that postseason feel. Our defending CAA champions, Monmouth, showed their ability to come up clutch in pressure situations. It was a 2-0 week for the Hawks with wins over Campbell and North Carolina A&T. They extended their program record to 10 consecutive wins on the road, which is another indicator that this team is dangerous in March. And we're seeing players like Jania Hall, Ariana Vanderhoop, Casey Donovan, all names that you recognize from the championship run, continue to step up and play with a level of fearlessness and confidence, even when you see their backs against the wall, like their games on Sunday. And so why is this such a good sign for Ginny Bogus's crew as we head into the last portion of conference play?
If I had to sum up what we saw out of Monmouth this week in one phrase, it would be mental toughness.
Yeah.
I think that characterizes both of their huge wins this week. If you look at the Campbell game, they really closed out that game, showing that they can lock in and get the baskets when they need them. They outscored Campbell 33 to 23 in the second half of that game. And so I think that just tells you that they're a team that when everything is on the line, they can come up big.
Yeah.
Now, it certainly helps having a player like Belle Cramble in the low post because you can consistently count on her for the big rebounding numbers. She had 11 rebounds in the game against Campbell, and she does that day in and day out. One thing that was very interesting and stood out to me, they only had one player in double digits in that game. That was Ariana Vanderhoop, but they had three players that had 8 points. When you look at Tasha Exenor, Belle Cramble, and Ella Fairley, and then Sandrine Kleska had 7 points. So you see that balance for them as well. That's another reason why they're finding that success, because they truly are a team that doesn't just rely on one player.
Mm-hmm.
But we previewed this game against North Carolina A&T. We knew it was going to be a good one. I don't know if we knew it was going to be even as good as it was. It took double overtime for Monmouth to win in that game. And again, when I looked at that game, it just felt like the mental toughness was what it boiled down to. If you look at the numbers, Monmouth shot 33.3% in the game, but they shot 45.5% in overtime. So again, when your back's against the wall, when everything's on the line, you can deliver. They had three players that combined for 22 of 22 from the free throw line. That was Jania Hall, that was Ariana Vanderhoop, and Sandrine Kleska. That is true mental toughness. And in overtime, the team was 12 of 13 from the free throw line. If you want to win games, when it comes down to tournament time, you have to knock down those free throw lines. That's mental toughness. And you said it, Karlie, this is their 10th game in a row that they've won on the road. There's nothing that sums up mental toughness like that, to go into someone else's building and come up huge. I thought Jania Hall was fantastic in that game, a career high 21 points, but she had 12 of those in overtime. I thought Sandrine Kleska was huge in that game. They really have all the pieces of the puzzle. I think Monmouth is certainly a team that you have to think is poised to make a big run come tournament time.
Yeah, totally. Mental toughness, that defines, that sums up Monmouth for sure. And, we have to credit North Carolina A&T, Paris Locke, who led the Aggies in the double overtime loss with 18 points. She plays so mature for a freshman. I love her aggressiveness. She's just another one of the weapons in the arsenal for the Aggies. She's our CAA Rookie of the Week too. But Monika, I know you love to highlight the rookies. What'd you see out of her?
Well, it was what didn't we see out of her, because she stuffed the stat sheet. It was tremendous. You mentioned the 18 points, but it wasn't just 18 points. It was 7 rebounds. It was a season high 4 assists. It was 2 steals. It was a block. It was an absolute complete performance from Paris Locke in a game that really mattered. This was an important game. This was a big time game. And she was able to deliver that level of performance. It's the 3rd time this season that she's been in double digits. I think she's a player that's really poised to be a massive contributor for North Carolina A&T. And the Aggies, I love them. They have so much talent with Jordan Dorsey and Malia Burkhan and Shania Clark. The list goes on and on. So again, they're going to be bouncing back from that loss to Monmouth, but I'm very excited about them. Can't wait to see what they do this last week of February and heading into March.
Me too. High hopes, high anticipation for what we're going to see out of them. And okay, Monica, we love to talk defense, which means we love to talk about Stony Brook. And I'm going to read some stats really quickly just for everyone listening because these are outstanding. Their win on Sunday against Northeastern marked the 9th time Stony Brook has held an opponent to under 50 points. Pretty good. It's their second time in 2 weeks that their defense has held an opponent to 35 points or less. Oh my gosh. But you turn to their offense and it's their third straight win by 25 points or more. So Monica, all those stats in mind, why does this team truly embody firing on all cylinders?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Stony Brook because they have moved into sole possession of first place in our league standings. And when you think about how impressive the teams in this league are this season, that really says something because it has been very competitive. And I don't think that you could do that if you were not bringing the defensive performance day in and day out. You said the numbers speak for themselves. They had 225 plus wins this week. Now, some of that's offense, a lot of that's defense because you are holding your opponent to low shooting numbers because you're playing such strong defense. They're really anticipating well. They're turning in a lot of steals. They had 11 against Hofstra. Very impressive. They had 17 against Elon because they're really paying attention to what their opponents are doing and they're being opportunistic and taking advantage. Certainly want to point out Sharice Pittman. I thought she had a tremendous week for Stony Brook. She almost averaged a double-double on the week with 16 points per game and 9.5 rebounds. And the thing about Stony Brook, it just feels like different players keep stepping up. We talk so much about Kari Clark, Gigi Gonzalez, Seda Gonzalez. Then you have these players who come in off the bench, like Victoria Keenan and Marla King. Holy cow, that is quite a lineup when you're getting 29 bench points from players like that in your game against Hofstra. So Stony Brook has so much to be excited about right now. I think they have the roadmap here. They know what they do well. They know their identity and they're really buying into it. So Stony Brook, they have to be the favorites right now because they have not made very many missteps in conference play.
So good. And quite a few outstanding individual and team efforts all around the league, which sets us up for a very competitive week of CAA hoops. Monica, literally on the edge, getting on the edge of my seat because we've got some really good matchups coming up this week. So what you got on your calendar?
Well, I'm going to save the one I'm most excited about for the end. Now, I don't think that this is going to be something that's going to surprise people. I think people can probably guess the one that I'm most excited about, but I'm going to start with Drexel Monmouth.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a really exciting one. Drexel had that huge win against Delaware. They went on a 14-2 run to close out the game. I think the Dragons are a really exciting team. I think they could upset anybody who's at the top of the league standings. So that is certainly one that I have my eyes on. I think everybody should be taking note of that one. I'm also excited to watch Campbell play this week. They're going to play Hofstra. Campbell has a lot of talent. They have Swenja Nuremberg, who's coming off of a very big week. Campbell had the win over William and Mary. So I think that that's one you're going to want to watch. Now, as you know, Charleston's one of my favorites, and Jenna Anacarico is one of my favorite players. She had another big week. She's our conference player of the week again with the performances that she turned in. I talk so much about her ability to facilitate, her ability to distribute the ball. What I maybe have not talked as much about and have been a little remiss about is the defense that she puts out there because I think she's had a steal in every game this season so far. She's had 5 games where she's had at least 5 steals, and she's 12th in the country in steals per game. So I'm very excited about her. I'm very excited about Charleston, and I'm very excited about Charleston Hofstra. I think that's one you want to have circled on your calendar. Emma Von Essen has been very strong, turned in a 22-point performance this week. So that's one to watch. Finally, the last one, the one that I think everyone's going to want to watch is Charleston Monmouth. Because when you look at the conference standings, Charleston is 9-3, Monmouth is 9-4. That one has massive implications for how things are going to shake out in terms of the league. I've already talked about those two teams. I think they are both tremendous units working together. You're not going to want to miss that one.
No, you are not. And Monica, so Friday, when this goes out, The individual session tickets for the 2024 CA Women's Basketball Championship go on sale. So everybody, you're watching these games, enjoying these games. Why not go and see it in person in March in Washington, D.C., casports.com/CA hoops for all ticket information. We'll see you there, right? Monika and I, we can't wait to be in attendance, front row seat. And so thanks as always for your time, Monika. You're the best.